Hello there, my darlings. Daniella here of ReDesign, coming to you with my day 19 of my month-long video challenge. And tonight I'm talking about going au natural, as the title said, and not in the way that you think. So, in a continuing effort to just as I go along, take more and more chemical-based things out of my life, being that detergent, being that shampoos or, soaps or food or anything and everything that has, chemicals in it. Next, if you wanted to start going really extreme, that could be things like clothes, that don't have any additives or any chemicals in them. I mean, and that stuff does exist. So along those lines, in a continuing effort to continually just slowly take more and more chemical things out of my life so that my body isn't constantly being bombarded with extra stress. Because, number one, we don't realize that our body is being constantly stressed out by the things that we eat, by our environment, by the even, soaps and things and shampoos and all kinds of ridiculous things that if you were to actually look at the label and take the time to look up what some of those things are that you can't pronounce or spell in a million years, they're really not cute. Really not cute. So, in an effort to continue doing that, getting rid of that stuff in my life, long story short, is I am gonna try going au natural when it comes to the monthly menstrual department. And these actually just came in the mail today, as evening as I'm getting actually ready for dinner. And while everything's sitting over there in the oven, I got this package, and so I wanted to open them up and see what they're all about. And these are actually all natural, reusable, washable, of course, pads. So, and tell me if you're relate, ladies. For years, I did the tampon thing, I did the pad thing, and, ooh, this one's kind of cool. You're not going to see too much on that, huh? They probably all should look like this, right? As opposed to, right? Right? I feel like that was a design thing. It's like, because these are cute, but that's probably going to be a little bit more functional, don't you think? So, I was looking into, pulling, chemicals and things away, from our skin, because anything that touches your skin is being absorbed into your skin. So that includes makeup or, lotions, the beauty products that we use. I mean, all kinds of stuff. So in an effort, right, having used tampons and pads and all of these things in the past, I ran across this post that this woman did, and she used reusables. And it made me think, what really is the stigma about a woman's cycle? Have you guys ever thought about this? Share with us in the comments, because I would love to hear everyone's point of view, because I know we all come from a different background, and so we've all heard different stories and have different beliefs that we hold about that time of the month for ladies, and if it's cleaner, if it's dirtier, if it's natural, if it's evil, or if it, I just love hearing other people's backgrounds and stories. It's absolutely fascinating. But so maybe you're like for me, where it was kind of it's a natural thing, but it was kind of very hush-hush, and it's immediately just roll everything up in as tight of a little, thing of toilet paper as you can and stuff it away so no one has any idea as to what it could possibly be. Definitely not along the lines of having reusable things that then you would later have to wash by hand. Right? But when you think about it, you go back far enough, this is all our ancient sisters had, essentially, was stuff that you would line your little pantaloons with. So when did that become taboo? Just thoughts to think. Thoughts that I was thinking. So, sorry, long story short, as I was going back and, reading some of the labels on some of the products that, of course, this is right up next to your lady bits. I mean, you can imagine it's got to be some of the most sensitive skin in your body. And, of course, is like an entry point, entry and exit, kind of like your mouth and your nose and your eyes and ears, for bacteria and all kinds of things and whatever, right? Mucous membrane. All of these things, floating around in my head. This is how I think, by the way, you guys, sometimes, as it goes bloop, 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 and then it all comes together into one single thought, and then I have to somehow disseminate that to the rest of the world. So sometimes if I seem like a little spacey or a little off track, sometimes that's because the thoughts are like, here, don't forget to mention this part. But I was looking at these products and all of the chemicals that are in them, and that is right up next to your lady bits. That's right up there. Up next to a mucous membrane that is being absorbed directly into your uterus, directly up. And women wonder why all of these cancers and things and craziness, why we've got a boost in all of this stuff. Think about what we're putting down there, or in there, for that matter. I mean, and this eventually might extend to condoms and all kinds of other craziness, but it's just something to think about. So since I got these in the mail today, I thought I would sit here and have this little conversation with y'all, because, to be honest, this is not a conversation that I've had openly with very many people. And now I'm having it with all 500 of you. Ooh, this one's kind of nice. Nice and dark. It's cute. Look at that. Cute. I mean, and this set is really cute, and I think there's 1, 2, 3. There's 6 of them, so it's almost a week's worth. And it comes with a little travel bag, which is super cute. But so you can put them back in and then go throw them in the laundry and wash them. But this woman that I run across her post, she took it a step further, and she would save up hers and then rinse them out into water, and then use that water to feed her plants. Whoa! I never even thought, and she made a good point, and this can be super taboo, so it's like, oh, I know, this is a very interesting conversation we're having this evening. But, and her point was fair, is that instead of using fertilizers and all kinds of stuff like that, the blood and the stuff that comes in is full of micronutrients, full of calcium, full of magnesium, full of all kinds of things that plants eat as fertilizer, as food. So she's like, so why buy fertilizer when I make fertilizer? Every month I make fertilizer. I was like, and I don't know how I feel about doing that myself. I won't let you know. Don't worry. Maybe I will. Nah. But it's just something interesting to think about. Where are all these stigmas coming from, having to do with embracing our power as women, in particular? We're just having a woman power session right now. Sorry, menses. But where did that come from? Where does that come from, that we're ashamed of our body for having a reproductive ability? That we're ashamed of our body for going through a cyclical ability where it goes through an entire cycle of being able to support, not only conceive, but support a living being's growth to birth, and then recycle it. And then clean itself out and get ready for another round. When did that become taboo and dirty? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I know it's a weird subject, but this is life, right, ladies? This is life. And honestly, how many of you actually have a place where you might be able to leave a comment on such a video such as moi, and then not be ridiculed or laughed at or sneered at, or have some sort of jeery comment, or some sort of whatever? Not many women have a place, have too many sister girlfriends that they can sit down and be like, I had this really weird kind of cycle this, like, so maybe this can be the place, since now I'm sharing my life with all 500 of you. But yeah, these came in today, so that's what spawned this. I thought I would give it a go. If I don't like it, I don't like it. I spent $15. Ultimately, though, if it's fruitful, this one's cute. At least it's kind of around the same color, right? If this is fruitful, as far as something that I can do, as far as the cleaning and the maintenance and the stuff and the things and how they fit and feel and, whatever, just think of how much less chemical I'm going to be putting in and on around near my body monthly during a time when that's a particularly sensitive time, when it's actually, full-on mucous membrane. But it's just a step in a direction. Something to think about. And I would love to hear your thoughts, because again, I know that for us ladies, it's not something that we often have a place that is safe to talk about these kinds of things, or our experiences with them. And maybe this can be the place. So, here's one more. This one's the one that matches the bag. Cute. I would have picked this fabric. There's some that I definitely would have picked. As a costume designer in a previous lifetime of this lifetime, there's definitely some of these that I totally would have picked for myself. If it was, if I were to have made them for myself. Which, you know what? I might, because these are super simple to make, ladies. If you get interested, if this is something that you're curious about, and you want to keep up with me, just on a sisterly level, because it's not totally weird. It's like me wanting to help and share in the love of us getting our bodies back together and back in balance and stop putting so many fucking chemicals in our body. If you're interested, if I ever figure out how to make these myself, which looks like it'd be pretty easy, let me know. Let us know how you feel. This is just a fabric. Looks like 2 layers of fabric here. And then there's an extra pad of, like, a pretty thick fleece. More or less a fleece. Not a felt, but a fleece. And then these are, like, the snaps that you see on baby onesies. Punched in there. It's pretty simple. It's a very simple concept. Maybe. Who knows? Going au naturel. We're going to give it a go, and we're going to see what happens. Here is the entire set now of going au naturel. I know, what a weird topic, right, you guys? But it just, Spirit was like, hey, why don't you do it on that? And I was like, I don't know if I feel like it, because that's kind of weird, and people might think I'm weird or something. And then Spirit was like, so that's why you should do it. And that's how Spirit rolls for me in my life. But here's the whole set of going au naturel. So let us know what you think, in the comments. Again, I know this is kind of a weird subject, and it may, like for me, be kind of super uncomfortable, because it's something that you don't normally very openly talk about, is our cycle as women. But why, I mean, and I can even feel my voice kind of going, right? As I dip down and kind of talk about this very, like, hush-hush sort of topic. It's like, why is it a hush-hush kind of topic? Guys roll up to each other and be like, I'm a balls itch. Right? Dudes are, like, kind of, in a way, way more open about their own, but in a way they are all also equally or more so closed off. Weird. Where are these paradigms coming from? There's something to think about. Where are these paradigms coming from? And reading that woman's posts about how she uses these natural pads and uses the remnants thereof when she cleans them, rinses them out, not with soap, but rinses them out and then soaps them separately. To use that as fertilizer, I mean, like, to me, I'm pretty woo, I would say, wouldn't you? Even to me, that's still a little like, whoa. It's kind of like, that's a little weird. But it was enough to make me kind of think about, yeah, there are a lot of things that we put in and on around our body that we don't think about the chemical that's constantly touching us, that we're constantly absorbing, because our skin is constantly absorbing whatever you put on it, especially if you're sweating or things we don't think about. Why don't we think about this? When did the paradigm become that we lose our power as women when we start talking about our menstrual cycles? Because it's weird and it's awkward, and it's something you don't talk about in civilized company. Right? I know it's not just me. So share with us below. Share with me what you think. If tell me if there's a print that you like. I don't know. But I wanted to share this with you and share my thoughts on that and just kind of like open up the discussion and maybe make this a safe place for you to start to open up that discussion. Because, you know, as women, I feel like it's time for us to start to, you know, sort of band together and empower one another and empower the men in our lives to help empower us, and us to empower them, to empower us and them, and back and forth, and everybody empowering everybody. But it's got to start with you. It can't start with them trying to, it's got to start with you. And that's a whole other subject for a whole other time. But coming to you going au naturel when it comes to feminine health. Share with us what you think. This has been Daniella of Redesign Your Life Forever, coming to you for my day 19, going au naturel. Crazy topic, right? I know. I didn't think I was going to do it either, but here I am. I love you guys. Let's start a conversation. See you soon.